George Floyd's death has put a spotlight on police brutality, and it's also raised questions about when police officers should stop being bystanders and step in. But back in 2006 in Buffalo, New York, a black police officer did exactly that. Officer Cariol Horne stopped a white colleague from choking a suspect during an arrest, and she got fired for it. Officials at the time claimed that Officer Horne put her fellow officers at risk, including the white police officer whose chokehold she stopped. Well, now, more than a decade later, the Buffalo City Council has voted to ask the state attorney general, Letitia James, to reinvestigate Horne's firing. Cariol Horne is joining me now. I want to thank you so much for being with us today, because, you know, now you have a decade later. What a different view, right? I want to know what you thought as you watched the video of George Floyd.
It was heartbreaking because I know that he did not have to die had one of those officers stepped in and intervened. And, you know, from my situation, I understand that I did stop the chokehold and he does live. So for me, it was really heartbreaking, and I cried for 2 days trying to understand why no one would listen to me. Because if police brutality is the problem, then I figured out the solution, which would be Cariol's law. You know, I should not have lost my pension for doing what was right.
Yeah, you had served 19 years, right? You were 1 year shy of your pension. And I see your shirt there. It says George Floyd needed Cariol Horne. But you watched the video and there was no one stepping in, right? And I wonder if you can tell us what it was like for you in that moment to make that decision. What was your thought process when you decided to step in?
Well, I yelled to him. I said, "Greg, you're choking him," thinking that, you know, whatever happened in the house, that he would like come back to reality and stop doing what he was doing. And he didn't stop. So I grabbed his arm from around Neil Mack's neck, and, you know, they fabricated a story. But, you know, I never jumped on his back like they said. I simply grabbed his arm from around Neil Mack's neck because Neil Mack was already handcuffed. So there was enough officers there to control the situation.
So what do you think, Cariol, should be done to, or happen to, officers who do not intervene?
Well, like I said, under Cariol's law, they would be prosecuted because you would have the duty to intervene. You cannot stand around and watch someone kill someone, watch someone die. You would have to intervene. And it would be a registry, so you can't go from department to department.
Was fired after 19 years
with a history
for
of
intervening
abuse.
when a white cop used
So
an
that there's a
illegal
way to track
chokehold on a black
folks,
suspect.
right, as they move from one area
Exactly.
to another. I wonder for you, you know, you are here, you made a decision at considerable personal penalty, right, to try to make sure that you save the life of somebody. And then you watch that in Minneapolis not happen. I wonder what you think the message, though, was sent. I'm sure police officers beyond where you work heard about you, right? What message was sent to police officers when you were fired for intervening?
The message was sent that you don't cross that blue line. And so some officers, many officers don't.
You think it's changed, Cariol?
I think that it's changing. I think that I am here to help change it. So that is why I thought of Cariol's law, because I want to be the change. I don't want any officer to go through what I have gone through in order to save someone's life. Like I lost everything. I have 5 children, and I lost everything. But Neil Mack did not lose his life. So if I have nothing else to live for in life,
they get fired and
I
they
can
lose
know
their
that I
pension.
did the right thing.
This system of racism has got to stop.
Can I ask you really quickly, Cariol, are you feeling good about the chance that your good name could be restored and that you might be able to receive your pension?
Yes. I hope that the mayor does the right thing. Because, like I said, no officer should go through what I've gone through for doing the right thing.
Cariol Horne, thank you so much for joining us from Buffalo.
Thank you.
On YouTube, folks.
As Mayor Brown announced those changes he'd like the department to make, he also spoke about a case that's gained a lot of notoriety over the years. Cariol Horne says she was fired from the police department more than 10 years ago for intervening when a fellow officer was choking a handcuffed suspect. The mayor says he thinks there's more to the story.
In that 12-year period of time, I think a different telling of history is happening from what happened at that time. Officer Horne did not have to be terminated. Officer Horne made a conscious decision to go before an arbitrator in an open public process, as opposed to taking the judgment of the first African American police commissioner.
The arbitrator recommended Horne be fired. A judge upheld that decision, and Horne was denied her pension. The mayor says at the time he wrote a letter to the state attorney general asking about the ability to reinstate Horne's pension, but the AG said Horne did not serve enough time to be eligible. The Common Council has now introduced a resolution asking the current attorney general for another
19
review
years
of
of
Horne's
service.
case.
She had
In the
one
meantime,
more
the
year
mayor says
because she
he's
was
offered
eligible
her
for
a full-time
retirement.
job with
And they
benefits,
say she didn't
opportunity
serve
she
enough
turned
time.
down. He asked Horne for
And then they
comment
want
on
to
these
offer her
recent
another job
moves.
with
In the
benefits.
past, she's told us she
But
has
basically she was
documentation for everything
sacrificing
she claims.
forfeit the 19 years that she served. This is crazy.